I
That
played.
was BB and CC.
I played. First of all, Stephen Wise here.
Nyasha Michelle.
Steve McCoy.
Darnell Johnson.
Scott Akbar.
Minister Calvin Tucker.
City Slick.
Man, I said we had everybody here like 4 o'clock, like before everybody was here. Like folks was here. Bishop was, pastor usually comes so early. He was here like 3:25.
Way before.
So I played Jay-Z Magna Carta Holy Grail on purpose, and I played BB and CC Heaven. It's talking about heaven's a place you want to be. That's a whole nother show. And we're always talking about heaven. I'm in no rush to get there. It's so much.
You don't want to go there.
Yeah.
You don't want to
go there. Okay, that's not good. We don't know.
That's a whole.
That's another show. But,
right there.
but it's amazing how the content of one genre music is about enjoying while we're here, where another genre music is talking about how we want to get out of here. This interesting.
I think, can we revisit him, because before we took break, I think he was getting ready to unload on us. So
No, not basically unload on you, but I mean, by me being raised in church, I know God back and forth, man. It's not the fact that I don't believe in God, but church is so hypocritical to me now. It's amazing. Like, you witness people, man, and they think it's so sad for you to pull up at a red light and you're playing what you're playing, and this older lady, she pulls up. It's like an old Negro spiritual. She looks over at you and she rolls her eyes because you're playing this hip hop music.
That's people just judging
you. She's judging me, but don't know what kind of person I am or what my character is. Hold on. And also is this. What society is so built and bred on, okay, I'm going to go to church on New Year's, I'm going to go to church on Easter, I'm going to go to church on Christmas. And then after all these events, these same girls, these same guys were sitting in this church are in the next club doing what? Shaking their ass.
well,
right?
see, here's
And this is the other thing. You don't have to go to church to find God. Bible completely tells you. When 2 or more are gathered in my name, I'm in the midst, right?
Free statement.
All right. So therefore, I don't have to sit in church to receive God. I can sit in my living room and sit up there and I know who God is. As long as my prayers, they say prayers go up, blessings come down, right? That don't mean that I can't create them. You want people like society and church and people shun on hip hop. It's an art form. So you want me to reinvent myself to please you?
no.
Then I'm not being myself.
Right.
I think the problem is the church has taught people how to live 2 diverse lives, and that's what I am vehemently against. And I get persecuted. I let people that come to Living Word know that there's not a life from Monday to Saturday, and then when you come in church, here's my challenge with it. When we come in church, we change our lingo, we change our dialect, we pray different, we talk in these and thous and thems, that hypocritical crap, and on Monday we go up, yeah, what's up, yo, dat me. That because we have taught people, whether it's consciously or subconsciously, to live 2 different lives. And like I always say, Christ is with you no matter where you go, what you have on, God sees it. Don't make the switch just because it's Sunday morning. And that's the problem with the lady. That's her Sunday morning, 60s, because most of our music in church has come out of civil rights and slavery. That's a whole nother thing. So it has a civil rights sound, a slave sound, and we think that slave civil rights sound is God. It is absolutely, positively not.
It was their motivation. That's what that was
Back then.
That's what I was saying on the break. That I totally agree with you. The hypocritical comes because we did not have pastors like this. We had pastors that we had religion taught from one bishop, from another reverend, who were slaves who couldn't read.
Yes.
So that's why they taught us stuff like women couldn't wear pants, but in the Old Testament, men wore skirts. So you understand what I'm saying? So I understand what you're saying from a hypocritical. So now we got people like you who have been turned off somewhat by the church because it looks so hypocritical. But there is a new core of people who got it that says, yo, that was not the way. But like you said, if some old lady pull up on you and listen to you move, I expect her to look at you like that, because what she was taught when she was your age was that was wrong. That was sending her to hell. But so So
And Jesus turned water into wine.
you know, so
Oh yeah, Jesus drank
Yeah.
too.
so you feel me? So
Let's go down to the aisle.
so my thing is, I look at the church as not a do's and don'ts. I look at a church as, yo, and that's when we go back. Now this is the gospel. The gospel is the death. If we're coming from a Christian faith base, is the gospel is Christ who died for you and me for our sins once and for all. And this is my belief. Once and for all, according to when I fall, I receive grace, not punishment. And that's when I accept Christ. But it looks hypocritical because you got the preacher, like he said, talking to the these, the thous. I don't do this, I don't do that. You all shouldn't do this. Come out of what you're in. Come out of what you're in. But then they don't tell you, I got this same struggle that you got. And it's the same God that's going to help you with your struggle that's helping me with my struggle. And that's what we don't have. But we're having that more so now than ever. So the music, once again, like he said, it came from a slave mentality. Everything was, I'm trying to make it. Even though how our relationship with God, and I always say this, multicultural, and even the white church, they don't sing about God I need, God I want,
That's
God
right.
I want. They sing from a relationship.
Yes.
They actually sing
Yes.
about how beautiful the trees are.
Yes.
And we still sing about God, I fell yesterday, can you forgive me one more time, blah, blah. I tell people what the cross did for me was a once and for all thing. I don't confess my sin to be forgiven. I confess my sin because I have been forgiven. And because I've been forgiven, God, this is where I am. I'm married. She look good though. I'm married. I might want that some days, God. I'm married, you know, and that's being real. That's how we're supposed to be with God. And you know what I'm saying? So we can't suppress who we are in the flesh because we now have him in the spirit. You know what I mean? So we can just only be real.
I have a question. Quick question. If you're gonna say we can't suppress who we are in the flesh, what is the purpose of the Bible saying you should die to the flesh?
No, when I say suppress, meaning you can't deny that that's what you feel.
Right.
So so at the same time, I gotta be real and say, like, it's just like any person. If I keep lying to myself, oh, she look good in my mind, but I'm not gonna tell nobody.
Okay.
After a while, that keeps creeping up on me, and I eventually want that to manifest. But if I say God, like, that's real, like, I want that. You and only in myself I'm weak. But it's in you that I'm strong. So you got to take that and deal with me on that. You know what I mean? You got to deal with me on that. Like, I can't.
And dying to the flesh is simply you making that, knowing what your decision should be, and making that decision not to. You know, she is fine, but I know, you know, I got a family I need to take care of. I need to, you know, man up and handle my responsibilities. It's sometimes as simple as that, as you making that conscious decision,
So
not suppressing your flesh.
Real.
Yeah,
you gotta be real.
Keep it real with yourself. Like, how do I get past this obstacle?
I get it. So would you say now that gospel, one of the things that's wrong with it is that sometimes it's not real.
It's not real.
It's
the
people,
people
and that's what I'm saying.
singing.
It's the
To you,
people.
it looks hypocritical because they were not
sing.
real.
People
You got
sin.
a preacher saying, I've been delivered from this, that, and the other, but never been. You ain't changed from it. You just kept it in the closet.
Okay. Let me just ask this question, spoke to you guys. So, do you think that one of the issues that we have with gospel is the fact that some people are not preaching the real deal? Because we have people who are the truth. You have people out there who are struggling with homosexuality. You have people who are courting. You have people who are cohabitating. You have people who go to church and the next day they're still doing whatever it is that they want. You have people who choose to, you know, interpret the Bible whichever way they want to. Now, do you think that that's the issue that we have with the gospel, which is that the reason why probably now people are deciding to listen to hip hop more, because hip hop is the truth about how people are living now? Do you think?
Yeah, I mean, people got their own
combination of the people.
People got their own views of how things is. Like, I got my own views about God, the religion, and everything else. Like, I don't read none of these books because all these books was written by men, and men make mistakes. So that Bible been written how many different times?
Right.
Like, I just don't. I got my own interpretation, my own feelings of how I feel. So that preacher is messing with them little boys or whatever, and still coming to church, and half of the congregation knows that. And what's wrong with the whole entire church? Something wrong with the whole entire church because ain't nobody gonna speak on it.
Right.
I'm saying, but at the end of the day, if I got a problem, whatever issue I got in the streets, in life or whatever, I speak on it. You can pull up any one of my songs on YouTube or anything. I speak on it. All my songs are called Ventilation. I speak on my whole entire life. God sees everything I do. Allah sees everything I do. I can't lie to him. But to the naked eye, I can lie to you. I can lie to you. But I can also tell you anything to make you believe me. So any pastor, any type of music could say anything to make you believe. So like when it comes down, what's real, what's fake. It's all about what you believe and how you feel.
So where has hip hop now gained its momentum? Where has it gained its,
It's the biggest voice.
Minds?
It's the biggest voice.
First, Bishop, I really wanted you because there was a lot of things said about church, a lot there, and I wanted your being the only pastor.
Yeah, I think that he's right, but I think it's personal. It's not what people. I mean, even in the street, you have fake people.
Yeah.
I think that your relationship with God has to be not based on what's in a congregation.
Exactly.
But it has to be based on what how you relate to God.
Exactly. And don't worry about how a person sees you.
Right.
Like
That's
a
what I
person's
believe.
gonna always have. I don't care when they say they don't judge you. They always have an ulterior motive how they feel about you, how they see you. They don't know your conversations.
So we got hypocrites in the church, and we say we don't go to that church anymore. But what happens when you deal with the hypocrites on your job? You don't say you're not going to work no more, right?
Right, because it's not
So
about.
that's my thing. It's what the pastor
Is
was
church
saying.
paying for your house?
It's about a personal relationship. That's a good
It's
point.
church paying your bills.
That's a good point. But at the same time, it's about your life as well. It's about your spiritual well-being and your connection with God at the same time. So you're gonna stop and just isolate yourself from everything that could possibly help you because of some bad experiences with people.
But I think that's the problem. And though you may not feel like you're trying to push your God, somebody else will feel like you're trying to push your God because what you may see from church as good, he may not see from because you keep using the word better to make your life better. He may not see what you consider better.
Yeah, language
as going to church. So like
no, I wasn't saying church was better. I was saying church is one of the places that can help you learn how to use that.
That's
right.
your belief.
As well as some conversations with people. Right. As well as some conversations you have on the street. That's why I say that. I talk to people who are in the clubs. I'm thinking I'm going there to minister and be an inspiration. And people pull me aside and minister to me. That's the thing about it. You never know where your inspiration to be better. I use that term, to be better. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't mean that in the church building is where you essentially will be better. It's what you learn everywhere you go.
Because people in the club are having a much better time with their life than the average person in church.
Yes, they are.
Sometimes.
Sure.
Because some of them are the people in the
Most
church.
people, let's be honest, most people in the club, let's even take it further, that are not in church are enjoying their life, not everybody, much better than the people that we encounter. The people that we encounter are oppressed.
Are living more than one lifestyle.
Are living, yes, because when you were taught to live one way one time and another way, you cannot be happy and you cannot enjoy life. And so you get back to what this, you live a dual life. And that is the average person in church, whether we want to admit it or not.
Okay, the average person. Because I was going to say it's not necessarily every person
Not
in
necessarily
church,
everyone.
but it is those who are not living, they've not chosen the path. They live in one time and then another way the other time.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Let me say this, because churches, black churches, like you was talking about white churches, how they sing about the trees and they sing about praise, they're praising God, right? Man, black churches are stuck in the old Negro spiritual. We all know this.
Yes.
But what society is now realizing is that hip hop is now the new Negro spiritual.
And that was his first question at the top of the show.
It's the voice.
It's the voice.
It's the voice. Like it controls damn near everything. Every commercial, like you were saying, every commercial, every brand, everything. It's in everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's in everything. We as black people, because it's descended from black people, the hip hop. Like it's in everything we do. Everything. It's in the church. Don't get it messed up. Because it's a rhythm. Everything moves to a rhythm.
And there's a couple. When I looked at the definition of hip hop earlier, it had a lot of different things in it. One being pretty much the culture of, they said city fashion was hip hop, but musically it came from the beatbox and the skateboard and the graffiti,
Jazz.
the rhyming and lyric. That was the origin of hip hop. Then if you take it back to the founders, some of the founders of hip hop, the Run DMCs and all of those rappers, I'm sure y'all probably know more than me. I'm a student of hip hop, but y'all probably can go further than me. What was the messages about? Run DMC and them would talk about how rap has changed From when they came up, it was a more happier art form. It was a more expressive, and they were going through things like political depression, racism.
Okay, I know being brought up in church and traditional churches as well as a progressive one. And I remember something, and I'm gonna take a music break one more time. I gotta do this, but I want to get into understand it first about the beat and the sound. That has often been the issue. If something sounded a certain kind of way, that was devil music.
Right.
And I remember growing up hearing, because the beat wasn't bass drum snare beat and an organ, that wasn't gospel.
Exactly.
And so I think that, and I gotta take a break, but it's I think the beat has brainwashed a lot of, and even some churches to today are still going by that.
Now what about dancing? Let's go take it further.
Yeah, okay.
So how have we divided? How have we divided a church dance?
You know what I'm gonna do?
How have we divided a church dance from a club dance? So we even changed.
The same thing.
Thank you.
You
so
get that Holy Ghost, it look like the same thing.
We even change our dance in church.
Bishop, I agree. Listen, Scott Akbar is here, so there's no reason why I shouldn't play something here. Listen, y'all, everything, anything, Scott Akbar.
Yeah. What you say when you out there? Ever say something about what was the message back then when Run MC?